Land of the Kangaroo People by Percy Trezise. This saga, Journey of the Great Lake, is dedicated to my colleague of many years, Aboriginal author and artist Dick Rosie. It is also dedicated to all my Aboriginal friends who led me through their temples of Dreamtime, passing on the legends and stories of their race memory, which records their history back through countless millennia, recalling the dramatic, humid, and arid weather phases of the Ice Age. This saga is set circa 30,000 years ago to encompass the extinct megafauna of marsupials, reptiles, and birds, the giants of Dreamtime, which shared this ancient land with the people of those times. Introduction. Aboriginal oral history tells of hundreds of dream roads crisscrossing the Australian continent, which were made by ancestral beings during their travels at the beginning of Dreamtime. It also tells of a vast freshwater lake at the top of Australia and stories about ancestors like the Antamoola sisters. There is also scientific evidence to suggest that 36,000 years ago there was a large freshwater lake at the top of Australia. Scientists called it the Lake of Carpentaria, and it was also known as Ballinaga, the Big Water. This is the story of three children and their journey around Ballinaga, along the dream road of the Antamoola sisters to find their way home. The Katamakara children had been resting on the island for a few days, fishing by night and hiding and sleeping by day, when late one afternoon their dingo Lusker woke them by growling. Peering through reeds, they saw a group of the Kangaroo cannibal people had come to camp opposite them. They had dingoes, and all the dingoes were looking across to them. Jadianta told the others to lie still and quiet and wait until dark, when they would take to their raft and flee. As soon as the day faded, he swung his bull roarer so the Kangaroo people would think their dingoes had seen quinkins on the island and would be too frightened to come over and see their tracks. There was no moon, and when it was fully dark, they put their things and Lusker on their raft and pushed off, paddling quietly away. When they came to a river running into the lake, they decided to row up the river before leaving their raft to travel overland, back from the lake shore where they were too many people. They still followed the sister stars. They travelled at night and slept by day. In the light of early morning or evening, they found nonda trees with ripe yellow plums and filled their dilly bags. Lusker used to go hunting early every morning after they found a safe hiding place for the day, and usually returned with a small wallaby, possum, or bandicoot, which cooked in the ground oven while they slept. When they woke, they ate the meat and continued their journey. One morning, Lusker was out hunting, watched by other animals, when a large marsupial wolf saw the young dingo and decided to have her for his breakfast. He bounded out from among bushes to catch and chase her. Marsupial wolves bounded like big cats and were very fast, easily outrunning a dingo. But Lusker knew instinctively how to evade the wolf bounding after her. When the wolf was about to grab her in his jaws, Lusker folded her legs and rolled sideways. The big wolf, who couldn't stop or turn quickly, rushed past her, and Lusker got up and ran off in another direction, with a fresh start on the wolf, zigzagging toward camp and the protection of Jadianta's spear. Lunday saw Lusker coming, pursued by the wolf, and called Jadianta to get his spear. Grabbed her digging stick and ran out to hit the wolf. Lusker rolled near them. Lunday threw her stick at the wolf, and Jadianta hit him in the shoulder with his spear. The wolf ran away, and Lusker was safe, but bleeding from 2 wounds. Lusker was hurt and could not hunt, so each morning Jadianta took his boomerangs and spear to find food. One morning he saw Bullinmore, the echidna, which was nice and fat, but Jadianta knew the laws. The echidna could only be eaten by father's father. He went on toward a big lagoon, hoping to get some ducks or other water birds. There were lots of ducks and geese on the water, and when they flew up, he threw his boomerangs among them. The returning boomerang was a good weapon. If it hit a bird, they fell together. If it missed, the boomerang returned to be thrown again. Jadianta was very pleased when he got 2 fat magpie geese. They kept travelling at night and found a walpa to cross any big rivers, leaving the walpa on the far side where the owner could easily find it. They kept their direction by the following sister stars. They had just woken up late one afternoon when Lusker growled to warn them that people were coming. Jelmore pointed to a party of snake men coming along following their tracks. Jadianta called to the others to gather their things and run. Wongabel, the little Jabiru girl they rescued from the snake men, was terrified and ran fast with them. The Kadaicha men, an appointed executioner, was out on a mission for the elders. When he reached the edge of the plateau, he looked down and saw the 4 children running with their dingo. He recognized Wongabel as the young girl stolen from his tribe by raiding snake men. He also saw the snake men and recognized the leading man to be the one he had been sent to kill. He set off to lope along and get ahead of the children. The Kadaicha man wore emu feather slippers to disguise his footprints and had been highly decorated on his back and face to show his official position and hide his identity. He went past the children, then hid behind an ant bed to watch them pass. When the running snake men came in sight, the Kadaicha stood up and hurled a heavy spear into the chest of the leading man. He went down screaming. The rest of the snake men stared in horror as the dreaded Kadaicha man then turned and fled. The Kadaicha man walked slowly after the children, his mission complete. Jadianta was surprised that the snake men had not caught up with them. He did not know about the Kadaicha. Late next evening, they arrived at the camp of Wongabel's people. Her parents were very happy to have her back. After being swept from their home, Jadianta, Lande, and Jalmor have journeyed through many lands and faced many dangers. Reaching the land of the Brolga people, they must soon walk up the other side of the lake to return to the Katamakara people. Will Guriala lead them safely home? Glossary. Bull roarer. A small oval of wood with a string tied to a pole in one end, making a roaring noise when swung around the head. Dilly bags. Woven grass bags for carrying food and belongings. Dream road. The path of an ancestral being during dream time. Ground oven. A hole in the ground lined with stones, which were heated by a large fire, after which the food was placed on the stones and covered over. Kadaicha man. An official executioner appointed by the elders to kill one judged guilty for a crime. Always intricately painted on the back and face to hide identity, and wearing slippers of emu feathers to disguise footprints. The anonymous killer. Nondas. Plums of the nonda tree. Yellow oblong fruit which were a staple food in northern Australia. Quinkins. Supernatural beings wandering at night, some friendly but mischievous, others bad and evil. Snake men. A clan who thought their ancestors were snakes. Walpa. A raft.